Hi, you're weaving with Maureen Unasa of Samoan Weaving HQ. We're at the final part now, part 5, and we're gonna lock your baby up. This is the bottom. Gonna lock the weaving up. Yes, thanks. That's enough, honey. Sorry about that. That was my 5th child that's watching her movie in the front. So here we go. That's me pointing to the row that we're going to lock it into. So what you're doing is you're bending the uppermost strips first, one at a time back, and you're threading it through what I call the diamond bits, which is you can only thread, through a part where you can thread through, and this will be the second diamond. You can do the first one, but then we've got to work with the bottom strips and figure out where that's going to go. So we'll put it through the second one, and there you go, if you see what I mean. It's just going through the same diamond and all the way along, so it's going to be parallel again to the top. So I hope you've enjoyed this mini series, and I thank you for your patience in waiting for the videos to be completed. Here we go. Okay, now that's me showing you the bottom parts that I've already completed and bringing the top down as well. So basically, with your bottom strands that are there, you pull that back and thread it through as well. Now what you do is you find the next, it's probably the center one. It's actually probably through the upper strip. If you see that the upper strip has created a longer pattern, if you go through there and weave it up. Okay, it's really hard to see, sorry. So you're threading it through, it's over the uppermost strip. Yeah, here we go, because the whole point is to lock this weaving. Now there's no hard and fast rule of how to lock your weaving, but this is just what I found that makes it nice and neat and tidy. I'm sure they never did, or they don't do it this way in Samoa, so once I get to Samoa and record how they do it there, then that'll be great. But it just, yeah, for me it just really made it nice, a nice and tidy edge, and I'm just a little bit anal like that. So yeah, so what I'm doing now is I'm going to bring it back down now. So you know how you have the fringe at the bottom of any ear, and you're going to just thread it through. And what you see there is that I'm showing you that you can thread it back through, and it can come through the middle of your weave. Hang on, it's going to come down, and it comes down in between the jagged or the zigzag, the nice neat zigzag edge I've created. But there is, if you get a needle like I'm getting there and you like flip it up, you can see that there is a space for it to come through. Now you want it to come through that space to the front, because sometimes it goes through that space but goes to the back of the weaving. You want it to come to the front of the weaving, just keeping it all nice and tidy. But once you do, a couple of these mini mats, and also just threading your strands through, you get the hang of it and you know where it's supposed to go. So it's really, weaving is really about using your eyes, because a lot of it is, it's all pattern. It's all pattern, it's all symmetrical. If it doesn't go through, if you can't loop it through or weave it through, then you know it can't go through there. So, find another way to lock up your weaving. So here we go. So we're doing the bottom one again. Yep, so you just thread it up, and then you bring it back down and thread it, loop it through somewhere. And then what you're doing is you're bringing the top strand down and passing it through the same loop, or the same, bit of diamond, I like to call it, that the bottom strip went through to come down. try not to listen to me talking because I'm probably confusing you. So just turn the volume down if you have to, and just see how it's coming through. And then the top one comes through the exact same gap, or diamond that you use for the bottom strip. You know, sometimes you can even like if you just wanted to bring one of them down, you could actually weave the other strip to the back and tuck it in at the back of your weaving. Look, it's entirely up to you. Like I said there, I'm trying to figure out there where the end strands need to go. The ones near the edges, sometimes, you know, you got to have a little look and play around to see how they will fit into your whole weaving and how you can lock it up. And so the reason why I say lock it up so it doesn't move around, and like when I locked up the big golden mat and I got my daughter to wear it, and it actually held, and she even stood on some of the strands by accident, but because it was locked up it didn't pull on the whole mat. So I think, you know, that's the importance of locking up your weaving. And again, I'm no authority in weaving. I just started weaving in April of this year and just fell in love with it, and I'm learning along the way too. And the only way you learn is to actually do, and the more you do, the better you get. So there we are. You can see the pretty little pattern that it creates as well. I'm sure, you know, there are going to be many more beautiful patterns being created out there. I've turned the weaving over so I can loop the side strips through, because there's just nowhere for them to go. Now what you can do is loop them through and then still weave it back downwards but through the back, so that it can be part of the fringe as well. I call it the fringe, you know, the frilly bits at the bottom of your mat or your ear. But yeah, I mean, there's so many uses for your little mini mats. You can just frame it as it is and give it as a gift. Or I think you can even, well, yeah, you could make frames with them, like, you know, create the outside of a frame or cover something on the outside. I don't know, stick a photo right in the center of your little mini mat. Now see what you're doing at the bottom here, like you can leave the top as it is, how they've got the big strands there. It looks great. But if you wanted to tidy that up, you could also do exactly the same thing as we've done down the bottom. And then instead of locking, you know, just the bottom, you can lock the top as well. In that kind of this kind of style, and just create a nice effect or a zigzag. I just like it tidy and clean. Yeah. So there, we're weaving through to the back, but we're pushing it, putting it down again. Yep, there we go. So it still, you know, forms part of that, the fringe that we're talking about. Okay, so I'm looking forward to seeing some mini mats, some photos, and you can send them to admin@samoanweavinghq.com. Yeah, and you can also leave me some feedback here on YouTube or also at the Facebook page, or you can send me the photos to the Facebook page and I'll put them up, because I'd love to see your mini mats if you were making them as we were going. Okay, so hope you enjoyed the whole series. This is Maureen Nasser of SamoanWeavingHQ.com. Thank you.